And our first questions for Jermaine will come from Chip and Mike Griffith.
All right, Jermaine, that was quick. I wasn't ready, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Sorry, trying to get the sound right a little bit. I can't hear you that well.
Can you hear me? Check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll try my best.
Okay. Jermaine, getting ready for this Missouri team. What are your impressions? It looks like they're a team that's kind of cranked it up from an offensive standpoint. And obviously you guys are going to be going over there to their house and probably going to be pretty chilly, as I understand it, on Saturday too. Just what do you make of that challenge?
I mean, we know they're a team. They're kind of on a roll right now. They got a good thing going over there. Coach Smart told us all about that. But, I mean, just like every other week, got a game plan, go practice it, and then go out on Saturday and execute it. As for the weather, control what we can control and just go out there and play the best we can.
Thank
you. Jermaine, you got some experience in cold weather. If your teammates ask you for advice, because I know a lot of them don't like cold weather, what is the secret? What is your advice, and how do you deal with cold weather games?
I mean, for me, it was always just getting the first play out the way, the first couple plays out the way, and then after that, it's all a mental game. Just put it in the back of your head, and then you'll be good. I mean, it's going to be cold, but it's just one of the things you can't control. But you can't let it, beat you.
Let's go to Seth and then Mark.
Jermaine, let me put you in the role of a defensive coordinator. When it comes to sacks, you all are up as a team. You are personally too. QB pressures are up. How effective do you think that is for the overall defense, though? Is too much put in just sacks? Or is it about as much importance you think put on getting them?
I mean, I think we just, as a room, as a unit, especially as a defense, our guys, I mean, we want to get after the quarterback. I feel like last year we didn't get home as much as we wanted to and as much as we could have. So this year, I mean, it's just an overall thing in the defensive room. Just make an emphasis to get home and work on what you need to work on to make that happen. And I know in our room specifically, I mean, we all get excited for one another when we get home, and that just makes the next one of us want to go out there and do it too. So I just think that our defense did a good job this year so far, just getting home to the quarterback and wreaking havoc back there, because it makes any offense have problems. And I think when you have guys like we do in our room and also other rooms that can go back there and affect the quarterback, it just makes the defense's job a whole lot easier.
Jermaine, this isn't my real question, but just a really quick one. What's the worst weather you ever played in Minnesota?
Man, I had to say, you're probably not going to know any of these schools, but I think it was my senior year or junior year of high school when we played Prior Lake. And I don't know, they almost canceled the game because it was so cold, and that rarely happens in Minnesota. We go to school with like 0 degrees still, so it was pretty cold outside. I remember we were out there for like 5 minutes, and my toes already went numb. You can't feel yourself running. You're kicking around snow, so I'd have to say maybe like 0. It felt like -18.
All right, I'll pass on the second one since that was a long answer, but thank you.
All right, let's go to Jake and then Brandon.
Jermaine, I asked Kirby about this, but in terms of like quiet teammates, guys who don't speak up very often, a guy that you may not hear talk, but maybe once every couple of days in practice, what's your thoughts on guys like that? I'm sure you've played with a few at junior college in Georgia. What do those guys tend to be like as players, as workers, and kind of what's your first impression when you're out there practicing with a guy or working out with him for weeks and you don't hear him talk?
My experience is there's some guys that are vocal leaders, and there's some guys that lead by example, and there's some guys that do both. And I mean, it's just part of who they are. I think it's definitely a skill to develop to be able to do both. But some guys, they just do one right now, and that's perfectly fine. But I mean, whether you do one or the other or both, I mean, people are going to see that and they're going to react good to that. And I think either way, it's a good thing to have by a teammate.
Hey, Jermaine, I kind of wanted to ask you the bigger picture question here as your career kind of comes to an end at Georgia. So I remember knowing your story about your family, how you wanted to come here for them, and your relationship with Coach Lanning and everything. I mean, as you kind of wrap it up and look back on that, do you feel like you have achieved your personal goals? You came to the right spot and everything like that?
I feel like I did. I loved, come to the University of Georgia. I mean, I'd probably do it all the same again. I loved it here, and I feel like me and my coaches get along very well. And my family, all they keep talking about is how great the G is, and having that all over their clothes, and having people stopping and seeing them all over the country, and talking about the Georgia symbol that they're wearing. But in terms of me, yeah, I feel like I've done pretty well here. Some things could have went a little better, but I mean, you can't get everything your way, but just take advantage of your opportunities and make the most of it.
Let's go to Connor and then Bailey.
Hey, Jermaine, when you commit to a school, when you committed to Georgia and you had to talk to those other coaches, that you weren't going to their school, what were those conversations like, and what were the coaches sort of like after you had made your decision?
If I can remember right, Georgia came in pretty early, and they're always recruiting me pretty hard, and I'm a big guy. I'm big about loyalty and stuff like that, and for a big program like Georgia to come after me so early on, it was kind of all I really needed. And I just told the coaches that they kind of, just had my heart from the beginning, and I just went with what my heart wanted to do. And you can't really get mad at a recruit for an answer like that. So they just wished me the best, and yeah.
Hey, Jermaine, Kirby was just telling us that you're a really good leader in practice and stuff. And I'm just wondering sort of how you've developed that skill and how you would say you've grown as a leader at Georgia.
It started at junior college. My defensive coordinator, Coach Smart, he would always say fake enthusiasm brings real enthusiasm, because it's easy, in week 10, 11, 12, you can just get in a slump and you get tired. You don't really want to be there sometimes. So you just go out there, and even if it's fake enthusiasm, people will feed off that, and then the team will be in the up and up, and everybody will want to practice. You make practice fun, and you just make sure people want to be there. Keep a smile on your face, and just it's not all business. Sometimes you got to bring the fun into it, because you got to remember that's a big reason why people fell in love with the game. So just keep fun in it. People will react good.
And let's go to William for one last question.
Hey, Jermaine, do you think the timing of this postponement against Vanderbilt was especially bad, given the momentum you guys were bringing into that game after your past two wins? And, talking about like energy at practice, how do you keep that up after having to, kind of reset this week?
All the coaches talk about is control what you can control. Green light, red light. Green light is the things you can control. Red light is what you can't. So just go and control what you can. And it got canceled. We're kind of bummed out, but you got to look at the positive side. Body gets a rest, and we got a very good opponent on Saturday, so we're ready for them and go out there and execute.
Jermaine, thank you for your time. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you guys. See you.